Welcome back to another session of Class 10 Mathematics. Chapter 1 Real Numbers. In this session, we'll be discussing fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Before discussing this theorem, I will revise two terms we already learned in lower classes: prime numbers and composite numbers. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers are the numbers which has only two factors, 1 and the number itself. So we know that the prime numbers below 50 are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, etc. And this means these numbers has only two factors. So if you're taking a number 5, 5 can be written as 5 times 1. That means 5 and 1 are the only two factors of 5. So if you're taking any number from this slate, you will get 1 and the number is the only factors, no other factors. That's why they are called prime numbers. Now composite numbers. So composite numbers are the numbers which has more than two factors. So the composite numbers are 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. So we can see if you're taking 4. So 4 can be written as 4 times 1 is one option and 2 times 2 is another option. That means 1, comma 2, comma 4 are the factors of 4. You will get more than two factors. So there are three factors for 4 and 6, 8, whatever number you are taking from composite list, you will get more than two factors. Okay, but there is a number which is not included in both the list. Which is that number? That is 1. So 1 is neither prime number nor composite number. Why? So it doesn't satisfy the conditions for prime numbers or conditions for composite number. The condition for prime number is it must have two factors, and for composite number it must have more than two factors, but one has only one factor, so it is not a prime number, it is not a composite number. Now we'll come to the theorem statement. The theorem says that every composite number can be expressed, that is factorized, as a product of primes, and this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occurs. So it is a very basic theorem, but is very important. If you are taking any composite number, suppose I am taking 50. See, 50 can be factorized, prime factorized. So prime factors means we'll write as a product of prime numbers. So it can be written as 2 times 5 times 5. So 2 times 5 is 10 times 5 is 50. So this is unique. Unique means you can't get any other prime factor other than 2 comma 5 comma 5. So 2 comma 5 comma 5 are the only prime factors of 50. So whatever composite number you are selecting, prime factors are unique for each number. Now we'll move on to the questions based on the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Now we can solve questions of exercise 1.2. The first question is express each number as a product of its prime factors. So actually it is a very simple type of questions, even though you can expect these type of questions for your board examinations. Okay, so I will do all these questions very quickly. First question is 140, prime factors of 140. So we'll write 140. Since the last digit is 0, so it is an even number. 2 is a factor, so 7 in 14 there is 7 times, and 0. So again you can write 2, so it is 35. Since last number is 5, 5 is a factor, so it is 7, and 7 is a prime number, so we'll stop when we get 1. So 140 can be written as 2 times 2 times 5 times 7. Second question, 156. 156. So here the last number is 6, even number, so we can start with 2. In 15, 7 2s are 14, so we can write 7. So carry over 1, so 16, 8. 8 2s are 16. So again it is an even number, so you can write 2 here. So in 7, 3 2s are 6, carry over 1, 18, it is 9. So 39 is a multiple of 3. So you can write 3 here. In it 3 it is 1 and it is 13. 13 is a prime number. So we'll write 13 here. So 1. So 156 can be written as 156 equals 2 times 2 times 3 times 13. Now we'll move on to the next question. 3825. 3825. So since last digit is 5, the easiest number is 5. So you can start with the 5. It is not necessary that you must start with always the smallest number. It is better, but if you are getting any other prime numbers which you can easily simplify, so you can start with that. So I'm starting with the 5. So in 38 there are 7 5s. 7 5s are 35, carry over 3. 32, 6 5s are 30. So to carry over 2, 25, 5. So again the last digit is 5. So we can write 5 again. So in 7 there is 1. Carry over 2, 26, 5. Carry over 1, 15, 3. So in 153, how will you check 3 is a factor or not? We'll add the digits. So 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So 9 is a multiple of 3. So we can write 3 here. In 15, there are 5 times and 1, 51. So again you can see 5 plus 1 is 6 is a multiple of 3. So you can write 3 again. So in 5, 1, carry over 2, 21, 7. 17 is a prime number. So 17 can be written here 1. So we'll stop. So 3825 can be written as 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 times 70. Okay. Now the next number is 5005. 5005. So here also the number ends with 5. So you can write 5 as a factor. So in 5 there is 1 time 5. In 0 no, so you need to write 0 here, again 0 here, 1. 1001. So here you can check 1001. The easiest way you can check for 2 is not a factor, 3 is not a factor because 1 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 is 2. The sum is not a multiple of 3. You can check 11. So how will you check the multiple of 11? Whether 11 is a factor or not? Find the difference of sum of alternate digits. Difference of sum of alternate digits. So 1001. So you will take the alternate digits 1 and 0, 0 and 1. You add 1 and 0, so it is 1, and 0 plus 1 is 1. Find the difference 1 minus 1, so it is 0. If you are getting the difference 0 or multiples of 11, so it is a multiple of 11. That is 11 is a factor of this 1001. So you can write 11 here. So in 100 there are 9 11s, 99. So carry over 1, so you'll get 11, so it is 91. Now you can see that 7 is a multiple of 91. 7 can be written here. 13 is a prime number. 13 1. So you can write 5005 equals, the smallest one is 5 times 7 times 11 times 13. Now the last question, it is 7429. So we'll start checking. It is not an even number, so 2 is not a factor. Next one 3. We'll add each digit. 7 plus 4 is 11 plus 2 is 13. 13 plus 9 is 22, is not a multiple of 3. So 3 is not a factor. 5 is not a factor. So you can check for 7 like that. Each number you need to check. So for a bigger number you need to divide and check 13 and 17, 19, such numbers. So you will see that the 17 is a factor of 7429. It will go 437 times. So you can divide and check. So in 437, again, since 17 is the first factor, you won't get any factor less than 17. The next factor will be 17 or greater than 17. So you can start with the 17 again, check, divide with the 17. If it is not a factor, then go for the Next number, that is 19. So 19 is a factor here. 19 times 23 is 437. So 7429 can be written as 17 times 19 times 23. Now we'll move on to the second question of exercise 1.2. Find the LCM and HCF of the following pairs of integers and verify that LCM times HCF equals product of the two numbers. So there are three questions, sub questions. Here we need to verify, we need to find LCM and HCF and verify this relation. LCM times HCF equals product of the two numbers. 26 and 91. So we'll take the prime factorization of 26. We know that it is 2 times 13. Now prime factorization of 91 is 7 times 13. Now HCF is a common factor, so you can see 13 is the common factor, so 13. Now LCM, to find the LCM, we'll take the all the different factors in the first line and second line. If any factors are common, we'll take that factor with the highest power. So here you can see 2 times 7 times 13. 13 is common, so we'll take the highest power. In both cases it is 1, so it is 13 only, and the product is 182. So this is the LCM. Now we need to check, we need to verify the LCM times HCF equals product of the two numbers. So first we'll find HCF times LCM, that is 13 times 182 equals 2366. Now we need to find the product of the numbers, that is 26 times 91. So you can multiply, you will get this one is also 2366. That means HCF times LCM equals product of the two numbers, verified for this question. Now we'll move on to the second sub question of question number 2, 510 and 92. Prime factorization of 510 equals 2 times 3 times 5 times 70. Prime factorization of 92 equals 2 times 23, or it can be written as 2 square times 23. Okay, now you will find HCF, the common. So only 1 2 is common, so HCF is 2, or the common factor. So here it is 2 and here it is 2 square, so the common factor with the least power, so it is 2. Now LCM, so all the different factors, if any factor is common, we'll take the highest power, the factor with the highest power. So we have 2 on both lines, so 2 highest power is 2 square times, and we have 3, we have 5, we have 17, we have 23, and which gives 23,460. 23,460. Now we'll find the HCF times LCM. 2 times 23,460, which equals 46,920. Now we'll find the product of the numbers. So we'll multiply 510 multiplied by 92. So we'll get 46,920. Once you multiply, you will get it. So we verified HCF times LCM equal product of the two numbers. Now the third sub question, 336 and 54. Prime factorization of 336 equals 2 raised to 4 times 3 times 7, and prime factorization of 54 equals 2 times 3 cube. Now to find HCF, we'll see the common. So 2 and 3 are the common. So we'll take with the least power. For 2, the least power is 2 raised to 1. So it will take 1, 2 times. For the factor 3, the least power is 3 raised to 1. So that is 3, which gives 6. Now to find LCM, we'll take all the factors. If any common factors are there, we'll take the highest power. So we'll take 2 raised to 4 times 3 raised to 3. 2 as a factor here, but the highest power is 2 raised to 4. 2 raised to 4 times 3 cube times 7, which gives 3024. Now we'll find the product of HCF and LCM. That is 6 times 3024 equals 18,144. Now product of the numbers. So we'll multiply 336 multiplied by 54, which also gives 18,144. That means HCF times LCM equals product of the two numbers is verified for this question. So that's all for now. We'll continue the remaining questions of this exercise in the next session. Thank you. Bye.